How do you make a long-distance relationship work? This is a question many of us grapple with today. So in today's video, I'm going to share 3 powerful tips that can make all the difference in your long-distance relationship. So if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also like and share with your friend. Yes, share with that your friend that you know he or she's in a long-distance relationship. I know you want them to succeed. So share this video with them. You might also want to check for my last video on tips to help you thrive in your long-distance relationship so you don't miss out of any of these powerful tips to help your long-distance relationship work. Hello everyone, my name is Sarah Onayemi. I am a trained counselor and a relationship coach, and I want to welcome you to the Love Learn Talk channel, where I talk all things related to relationships. And if this is what you're looking for, you want to know how to be better in your relationship, or you even want to know how to get it right with marriage, this is the place for you. So let's get right into today's video. Today I'm going to share with you 3 powerful tips that can help you thrive in your long-distance relationship. As we all know, long-distance relationship is becoming common today more than ever before. People are moving out of their country to a different location for career purposes, also trying to get a better life. So more people getting into long-distance relationship today. So we all need to understand how to thrive in this new and big thing that is on our table today. Okay, so the first tip to help you thrive in your long-distance relationship, and trust me, I have been in a long-distance relationship before, okay, during our courtship and after our wedding. My husband and I were in 2 different locations, so I understand how this can be emotionally. And if you're in a long-distance relationship today, I really empathize with you. Okay, I want you to know you're not alone, and this is going to pass. Okay, so the number 1 tips to help your relationship thrive, to help your long-distance relationship thrive, is that I need you to count the costs. Yeah, it sounds hard, okay, but that's something that I think can help you thrive in your long-distance relationship. You want to sit down and count the costs, okay? For example, for me, my relationship started just a few months before my husband traveled for his career, and I had to sit down and ask myself, okay, what is it going to cost me to keep this relationship going? What do I need to do? What changes do I need to make in my own life so that this relationship can thrive, even though my partner is no longer going to be in my location? And both of us have to sit down to have that conversation. What is this going to cost us? You don't want to assume that, the same thing you do when you are physically together, when you can see each other, when you want to, will just automatically help you thrive in your long-distance relationship. It doesn't work that way. And we all know that every single thing that is great out there requires a cost. There's a cost to pay. So long-distance relationship is not an exception. You have to sit down and count the costs. Okay, what is this going to get from me? How do I better prepare myself to be able to make this relationship work? Okay, it could be, do you have to maybe stay awake at night, or do you have to now understand each other's time zone? For me and my husband, I was in Nigeria, and Nigeria was 9 hours ahead of my husband's location. So when my husband is in the morning, we're at night. When we are at night, they are in the morning or in the day. So it was a little bit difficult to pull through, but already because I counted the cost, cost, it was quite easy for me to walk through this. Another reason why I think you need to count the cost is that when you are in a long distance relationship, okay, sometimes you make a plan that you're going to be together maybe in the next 2 years or in the next few months, but sometimes those plans might just not work the way you plan it. And you know, people start saying things around you, or will this ever work, will you guys ever get together? The moment you sit down and count the costs, that, oh, I know this is going to cost me something and I'm willing to do it, it just makes a lot of difference. So when people say some of these things, it doesn't get into you. So there is a cost to pay if you are in a long distance relationship. There is a cost. Sometimes it might cost you your sleep pattern. Sometimes it might cost you having to stay back, you know, to be able to have that conversation. Sometimes it might cost you, you know, even more money. Okay, for us, we had to like really invest heavily into subscribing, you know, buying more data so we could do more video calls. We had to get a power bank, okay, because then I was in Nigeria and the electricity was not frequent, so we had to get a power bank so that we can always have a conversation when we need to. So that was part of the cost. You know, it cost us some money, it cost us some data, it cost us some of our sleep, it cost us, you know, our routine, but that was the cost we needed to pay for that relationship and for our relationship to thrive. So if you are yet to count the cost, I need you to sit down. First, I need you to know it's going to cost you something, okay? And I need you to be ready to also, you know, pay the price. The number two thing, which is quite related to the first tip that I just shared, is that I want you to know that there's a sacrifice to pay. There is a sacrifice to pay. When you're in a long distance relationship, it's going to be so different from when both of you were together and you can see each other when you want to, you can be together when you want to, okay? So even if that has not been the case when both of you were together, I need you to understand that now that you're in a long distance relationship, there's going to be some sacrifice to pay, okay? And if you really want to see your long distance relationship thrive, then you have to be ready to pay that sacrifice. It is your relationship and it's not going to be the same with everybody. If you know what you are getting into, if you know what you want, then you'll be ready to pay the sacrifice for it. For example, the first point I mentioned is that there is a cost, okay? For me, you know, back in Nigeria, I have to wake up quite early in the morning so that my husband and I can have conversation before I step out for, you know, to get things done. And for my husband, even though he was you know, having his master's program, we still had to, like, you know, make a schedule that we would try to make sure we speak 3 hours every day. That was the sacrifice, okay? There are times that I needed to be out there, maybe with friends or go do something, and my husband is calling at that time, or, you know, both during our courtship and after we got married. I have to stay back so that we can have a conversation, we can communicate effectively. Remember, I said I made you know, my first video on tips to help your long distance relationship thrive. You don't want to miss that. You want to check it so that you can get all of these tips that I mentioned. I mentioned communication. So communication is a very important part. So we really had to, you know, pay the price, you know, the costs to be able to make our long distance relationship thrive. And today I am happy we did that. My husband is happy we did that we're able to count the cost and also put the sacrifices that are needed to help our relationship thrive. And whatever sacrifice you are putting in that relationship, or both of you are putting in that relationship, don't forget it's all for yourself. It's all for your relationship. It's all to make your relationship better, okay? You don't want to assume like, yeah, when we come together, everything is just going to be fine. No, you also want to continue to lay that foundation so that when both of you come together, whether to be wedded or maybe you are married even before, you know, you left each other for a different place, so that you don't start looking like strangers to each other when you come together. The number 3 tips that can help your long distance relationship thrive is that both of you want to talk things through. Okay, you want to talk things through. Okay, what are we going to be doing? How are we going to when are we going to come together? What do we both need to do? You don't want to leave that aspect hanging. You want to be clear on what you are going to do. For example, when my husband was leaving Nigeria, when we started our relationship, one of the things we said, okay, we both had to discuss is that, okay, when I get there, after so time, we would start planning for our wedding, okay, and in so year I'm going to return for our wedding. That was a conversation we had even before my husband left. Does it mean that when you have a plan everything is just going to go smoothly? No, that's not absolutely true. But at the same time, you can have a plan, so even if anything is going to change, you have something to hold on to. So you want to talk things through with your partner so that you can be clear and both of you can be on the same page and you can be working on a similar goal. You don't want to leave that part hanging. Okay, for example, you are in a relationship, you don't even know when you are going to come together, or maybe the other person is leaving, you are not sure when you're going. Even if you are not sure, at least have a plan. Okay, when are we coming together? If you are still dating or you are courting, you are not married, when are we going to be when are we planning to get wedded? You can say, okay, in the next 2 years, when I'm done with my masters, or when I'm done with this, or during this, we're going to get married. And whatever plan you make, okay, is quite subject to change. And if there's going to be any change, both of you still need to come together to update each other. Of course, there is always room to review your plans. Okay, when you are in a long distance relationship, especially outside the country, a lot of things change that are even outside your control. Okay, a lot of things change. It could be immigration policy, different things happen when you're not within the same location. So you want to constantly update each other. You want to constantly talk things through so that even when people say different kind of negative things on social media about people being in relationships and they're leaving each other, because you are clear. Okay, you know what you are doing, you have a plan as to how to reunite again. That just helps you to continue the relationship, and you have something to look forward to. There's nothing as such that, oh, I don't know what we are going to do yet. No, you want to make your findings. If you need to make further research, how can you relocate when how can you reunite when you are in this country? How can you bring your spouse? If you need to make further findings, please do. If you need to ask people that have gone before, please ask them. But it is very, very important that you talk things through and you have something to run with. So just to recap, number one, you need to count the costs. That is always a cost to pay when you're in a long distance relationship. Number two, you want to be ready to pay the sacrifice. Okay, every great thing out there requires a sacrifice. It's a sacrifice. It could be your sleep. It could be that you have to sacrifice invest more in maybe a very good phone or power bank. There's a sacrifice to pay. And number three, you want to talk things through so that you can have something to run with. It can be something that you're looking forward to. So if you're in a long distance relationship, I want you to leave in the comment section below what are some of those tips that that are working for you, that what are some of those tips that are working for you and is helping your long distance relationship thrive. Please leave in a comment section below so that we can all learn. And if you've been in a long distance relationship before, what are some of those tips that also help you? So please leave in the comment section below so that we can all learn together. And if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also like and share with your friend that is in a long distance relationship. Thank you so much for watching. Till I come your way again.